Hello, everybody. I'm back with Bill's Little Pet, chapter 14. There's 14 and then the epilogue, and that will be it. Cool. Anyway, let's begin. Bill's POV. I stood there with my pine tree in my arms, and my entire body seething with anger. Oh yeah. I quickly whispered into his ear, "It's okay, my little pine tree. Just close your eyes for now, and I will be back soon." He looked up at me with sad eyes, then closed them. I propped him up against the door and stood back facing Tad. Bill Cipher. Long time no see. He laughed, twirling a coin between his fingers. Tad, I said through clenched teeth, ready to pounce on him at any moment. Whoa, calm down there, Tiger. I just wanted to talk, he said with a sly grin across his face. What's there to talk about? You tricked me. Took things I love and took the one thing I cherish most in this world. And now you're gonna pay, I said, my voice shaking in anger. Oh, really? No. Before he could speak anymore, I charged at him and knocked him into the ground. My body was on top of his, and I punched him in the face repeatedly. My one wish is to acquire your face with a rigidly edged object, commonly used in the construction of walls. Repeatedly. I love that. Repeatedly. He laughed like a maniac through every punch I threw. Your reign of terrain? Is that how you spell trainy? Ends here. I have no idea what that says. I screamed at him as he laughed maniacally. Oh, you haven't seen the last of me. He screamed, laughing. And then he screamed, laughing. I then took the coin that was in his hand and jammed it right between his eyes. Ugh. And through his head. No. Blood squirted everywhere, and his face was plastered with an insane look. His words echoed through my head. Oh, you haven't seen the last of me. I love that. Yeah, right. I then spit on him and walked away, going to grab my pine tree. Yeah. I walked over to see a trembling pine tree curled up in the corner I put him in. I picked him up and he hugged me as if he were clinging on to me for life. Shh. It's okay now, my pine tree. You're safe now. I spoke to him, softly reassuring him. I felt tiny hot pellets of water drop onto the fabric of my shirt. He was crying. Bill. He spoke softly. It was strange hearing my real name after all this time. It was comforting. Yes, my dear pine tree. I spoke to him. I love you. I let out a small gas. I let a small gasp. I let a small gasp escape my lips at his words. This is all I have ever wanted to hear. Those words. No. This is all I've ever wanted to hear. This is all I've ever wanted to hear. Those words come out of his mouth. To see him every day, hear his voice, wake up curled next to him, to kiss him just for the sake of it. I love you too, pine tree. Epilogue, 5 years later. Dipper's POV. I held in my breath as I hid underneath the bed. My hands were getting sweaty and I was super stiff. I laid there waiting. Found you, Daddy! I don't want to yell that. Well, that's adorable, but no. To unlock that. I heard my son Rafik yell. You sure did, bud. Good job. You know, one day you won't make... No. You know, one day you would make a great detective. Now, why don't we go find your sister, Enip, and your father? I told him as he smiled at me and grabbed my leg as I got out from underneath the bed. Yep, things were going great. We had 2 beautiful children, twins actually. Duh. I guess it really does run in the family. They were both 4 years old. Rafik was the first, and he is adorable. He looks just like his father. He has beautiful golden hair, and his eyes are golden with brown specks in them. He was born with little blue demon wings, with golden tips at the ends. His personality reflected his father perfectly. Apparently I can't speak. He was sassy, tricky, hilarious, and was super kind. To the right people, of course. And then there was Emp, our little girl. She came second. She has brown hair that goes down to her waist, although it's blonde at the tips. And big brown puppy like eyes that could make you fall into pieces at any moment. She was born with yellow wings with blue tips at the end and fangs. She resembled me a lot. She loved mystery and adventure. She loves reading and is one of the kindest people I've known. Those 3 are the most important people in the world to me. I was walking alongside Rafik as we made our way down the hall. He then opened a door and down and looked behind it, and we found both of them huddled in the corner. Oh, darn, you found us, I heard Bill say. He Enip, then stood up, and the two ran off somewhere in the house. Me and Bill looked at each other, then broke into laughter. I then walked close to him and kissed him. Ew! We heard two voices say. We split apart and saw the twins looking at us with grossed out faces. Guys, that's gross. Guys, that's gross. Not in front of the children, please. Me, to be honest. Me. Enip said, something, urging to her, said, gesturing to her and her brother. We both chuckled, and then Bill said, would you rather us kiss you guys? And we both ran at them and I picked up Refik and he picked up Enip, and we made kissy noises and we made kissy noises and that makes no sense. We made kissy noises and faces towards them, as if they said towards them. We made kissy noises and made faces towards them if they said ew, in rebellion and disgust. After a few moments, we all broke out into laughter and hugged each other. They then ran off and started flying through the halls. They were getting quite good at flying now. We were making them take lessons. Everything was perfect, you know? Sometimes I completely just forget about all those bad times with Bill and Ted, and they just disappear. It's nice. Me and Bill stood up and hugged each other, closing the door this time. We stared into each other's eyes with love and passion filled in each cell. He pat my now cat ear-free head. Yes, he finally took away my cat parts. When we had children, thank God. I love you, my pine tree. I love you too, Master. I said, the silly nickname he used to make me use. There was a pink dust on his face, and he quickly pulled his head down and kissed me. I quickly pulled his head down and kissed him on the lips. Hey, Dads, come help us make pancakes. We heard the kids yell. We separated once again and headed down the hall, hand in hand together. And that's how it was meant to be. Believe that is it. Oh, no. There's this one. Dipper's POV. I sat there at the dining table. The kids just had finished dinner. One second. I'm gonna see where this is going. Let's continue. This is so stupid. I love it. The kids had just finished dinner, and I was about to clean off the table. Yes, this was truly the most amazing life I could ever have. A perfect family, a perfect husband. I loved it. I loved it all so very much. I'm so glad that they came into my life. Is that Maple? Okay. As I was daydreaming while washing the dishes, I felt a very familiar hand slide around my waist and a stomach press against my back. I looked over my shoulder slightly to see the all-familiar Bill. Bill Cipher, my favorite. Ugh. Hey, Bill, I said. Hello, my lovely pine tree. Thoughts were just running through my head about my perfect life with Bill and my 2 children. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm glad you kidnapped my sister and used her free will against me to gain my loyalty. It would have never led to this. I then felt an arm squeeze my waist a little bit, as if he was worried. Is something wrong? I asked, genuinely concerned and a little curious. Curiosity killed the cat.
The funny thing is, Pine Tree, Bill? I asked with curiosity. Well, I didn't exactly have your sister in my captivity when I was bargaining with you. I just knew you would come with me if I used her against you. Funny, right? I turned around, looked him straight in the eye with a death glare. He saw my face and started running. Ah, evil Pine Tree! He screamed. He screeched down the hall. A small smile cracked on my face, and I ran down the hall screaming, Bill! And that is the end. I'm actually glad I finished it. I haven't read this in so long. Danganronpa stuff. Ooh. Oh, reader. So, what should I read next? I don't know. You can give me suggestions of stories that you've found on Wattpad, if you're on Wattpad, obviously, that you want me to read. I just have all of these guys. Oh, Beauty and the Dream Demon is so good. And then there's like the Sally Face ones that I really need to finish and watch. Finish and read and stuff like that. But yeah. Need to read that one. I forgot about that one. But yeah, if you tell me which ones you want me to read, if you want specific ones, I can like search for them. Just tell me. I think I've given you options, but you can choose whatever. I have these. Until then, I'm just gonna be reading some one-shots until you guys choose a longer story or 2 for me to read. Beauty and the Dream Gym might be the next one because it's so good. But if you don't want, if you want me to do something other than Billdip stuff, you can just ask me. I have like anime stuff. I have all this stuff, all ships. I love ships. I need to read that. Oh my god. And I have Homestuck stuff if you'd like it. Just tell me. I'll read it. How many do I have in there? That's mine, I believe. I can read one of my stories if you'd like. Because I still have all of that. I can do like creepypasta if you want. Please tell me in like the comments. I have like so many stories that I need to read. Well, I guess. Why do I have so many in here? Anyway, goodbye. See you next time.